Yo guys, what is happening? We are back with the X-Men non-binary Morph Backlash addressed by original creator. So we've got some, I don't like to use the word, but we've got some topics coming up with the woke gang here. The team behind the original animated series addresses the backlash for referring to Morph as a non-binary mutant. So here we go. So we're going to get into this. This is going to get a little bit political, but let's go anyway. So just coming to us from CBR, the X-Men animated series creators have no issue with X-Men 97 leaning into the depiction of Morph as a non-binary character. While X-Men 97 serves as a continuation that picks up from where X-Men animated series left off in 1997, there have been changes made to some of the characters. Morph, an original creation from the original series, is no longer presented as a dark-haired man. Instead, where did that go? Instead, imagined with a plain mask like bald head and face. It was also revealed ahead of the show's premiere that Morph identifies as non-binary. This prompted some social media criticism over the series making woke changes, but the creators of X-Men animated series feel that it's actually in line with the concept of the character. So we're putting pictures up of how Morph was uh, with the X-Men animated show. Here we go. And they've kind of like changed his appearance quite a lot, to be honest with you. Now he's just a bald guy with basically no face or a white face. But it does go on to say that the X-Men showrunners did decide that it would be a non-binary person, with Eric Lewald, the co-creator of the showrunner, it says from CBR, for X-Men animated series, also explained how Morph had morphed into both men and women in the original show. So after the character's death in the first season, he later returned hoping to seek revenge against the X-Men to full different members of the group. Morph transformed into characters like Rogue, Storm, Jean Grey. As far as Lewald sees it, it would suggest that Morph has been non-binary all along, even if it wasn't stated outright in the 1990s cartoon. Well, yeah, that like the 1990s cartoon, I don't even know if well, obviously I was a young kid then, but was there even words such as transgender and non-binary and things like that? I'm not even sure. Non-binary is only a word that we've heard recently from coming out. Well, obviously quite a while before COVID, maybe like 8 years ago or something, or 7 years ago or something like that. I heard the word, so it's not too old compared to when the X-Men animated show came out. And some of the fans aren't happy with this. They're not. They are calling it woke, and they are just upset with the fact that Morph has already changed from a man to a woman in the animated shows, and they just want to keep it. The fans, they just, yes, there is some. There is fans in the X-Men shows with the LGBTQ and things like that, but I'd say the majority of fans for the Marvel and DC domain would be, probably straight guys. That's probably my guess. I'd say on a percentage, there's probably a lot higher percentage in straight guys than there is that support the LGBTQ or the non-binary or the transgender movement. So, what do I think about this? Well, I mean, it kind of already changed into a woman anyway. So whether we knew the words of non-binary or not, the character Morph was actually already non-binary. We just didn't put a label to it back in the 90s. So he was already non-binary as it's changed into man or woman. A bit like off the show Gen V. We've got that character in there that changes constantly from a woman to a man, from a woman to a man. Um, so yeah, but the fact that probably they've used the word non-binary has probably pissed a few people off. Does it annoy me? No, not really. What will annoy me is if the show isn't good or that Morph character doesn't serve a good purpose in the animated show. That will piss me off. But as regards to Morph being non-binary, are they going to mention that or not, that he actually is non-binary? Maybe, maybe not. He's kind of still got the body structure of a man, even when he's not in character of anybody. But yeah, the woke brigade and some of the people, they are not happy with this. But isn't that what X-Men is all about? Accepting people for who they are. As the showrunner said in a different interview, have we learnt nothing from the X-Men animated show that was in the 90s? Because the whole point of being the X-Men is that, you know, you're accepted for who you are. I mean, look at Beast. He's a beast. And look at Wolverine and look at all the other ones in there. They're all beautiful freaks, if you want to say that. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. And then you've got people like Toad and stuff, and you know, they're all different in somewhat way. And they've all got, or most of them have got kind of like not a non-binary, but what would you even call Beast? Because he's not a man, is he? Because he's not even human. So he's a mutant. So, and that's what the X-Men were fighting for. So I've got to say, in some way, realistically, we need to accept them for who they are, because they are the X-Men fighting for those rights, for them to be accepted. I'm not going to lie though, Morph looks absolutely messed up in the old series. He does. Look at that face. It kind of looks a bit like Sylvester Stallone there. So we need to change that face anyway to a non-binary face. And actually, if I'm thinking about it now, looking at Morph here in this picture, he's not got a man structure body, or he's not got a woman's. He's kind of just got an in-between. So they've made that pretty clear there. But yeah, listen, that's what it's about. The X-Men, accepting people for who they are. Non-binary, gay, lesbian, whatever comes our way, we are supposed to accept them, because at the end of the day, they are all one family and they are mutants. That's it. So guys that are getting the knickers in the twist, yeah, I can understand that it's even infiltrating the X-Men series, the non-binary stuff. I get it. I do get it. But let's learn not to pay attention to that, just so that we can enjoy the series for what it is. And that's really what we need to do. We need to focus on, look, how good is X-Men animated show going to be? Is it going to be great? We hope so. Or is it not? Well, we'll find out. So those are my thoughts on it. And I'm excited to see what they do with Morph, and if they've truly morphed him into a non-binary character. But yeah, sorry, just pulling it back a little bit, because I have found it here on CBR that the co-creator of the series also suggested that the backlash against Morph in the X-Men 97 would be coming from people who missed the message that have been sent by the original show. And then he goes on to say, which is what I said before, did we teach you nothing? Were you not watching? As Leewald put it, did we not figure out how to be nice to each other and how to get along? It's very odd to feel like we are still dealing with the same issues that we are dealing with 30 years ago. And the rogue voice actor Lenore Zan added that the message needs to be spread throughout the world right now. I hope we can bring hope to people and to children so they can look to the future and go, I have a place in the world, I belong, and it's okay to be different. Yes, and certainly it is okay to be different in the X-Men series. 97, coming out. We can't wait. Let's see what happens. But if you're pissed off about this woke stuff and this non-binary stuff, you write a comment below. Let me know how you feel. I'll try and, I will get back to you on that, and we can have a healthy discussion about it. Or let me know if you're happy with it and you see yourself as, if you were to be an X-Men character, maybe Morph as a non-binary character. Interesting. Let me know in the comments below, and if you can, like and subscribe to show me some love.